Good morning, children. Today we will start with the new topic of the chapter Human Reproduction, and that is sex determination. Sex of the baby is determined during fertilization and in the zygote. Sex is determined by the sex chromosome which are present in the zygote. Human beings have two sets of chromosomes, that is autosomes and sex chromosomes. Sex chromosome which is present in human female is the XX, whereas in male it is XY. All the female gametes that are egg or ova, they produce 22 autosome and only one X chromosome. And sperms produced by males have 50% have 22 autosome and X chromosome, whereas the other 50% have 22 autosome and one Y chromosome. The fusion of the sperm with Y chromosome with the ovum that has X chromosome results in the male baby. You can see in this diagram 22 autosome plus Y chromosome. That sperm, when it fuses with the ovum containing 22 autosome plus 1 X chromosome, it results in formation of 44 plus XY chromosome, 1 X from the egg or ovum and the Y from the sperm containing the Y chromosome. So that will result in formation of the male baby which have XY chromosome, and fusion of sperm with X chromosome with ovum that has X chromosome results in female baby, that is XX chromosome. Again you can see here, this is the sperm containing the X chromosome, and when that sperm fuses with the ovum containing X chromosome, it results in formation of the zygote that has XX chromosomes. So that will result in formation of the female baby. Right? Zygote carrying XX chromosome develops into female, and with XY chromosome develops into male. Children, cleavage we have already studied in last video. Okay, that is zygote from the isthmus moves towards the uterus, and during that time the mitotic division takes place. The first cleavage takes place in 36 hours, which results in formation of two blastomeres. Then later 2, 4, 8, 16 daughter cells that are called blastomeres are produced. The embryo with 8 to 16 blastomere is called morula. Morula stage will undergo division, continuous division will take place, which will result in formation of a hollow ball which is called blastocyst. Then the blastocyst in the blastomere is the blastomeres in the blastocysts are arranged in two layers. The outer layer is called trophoblast and the inner layer is called the inner cell mass. The trophoblast gets attached to the endometrium layer of the uterus, and it helps in implantation and it helps in development of placenta also. The inner cell mass gets differentiated into embryo, and the complete attachment of the blastocyst to the uterine endometrium, it is called implantation. Okay. So this is the diagram showing the implantation, wherein you can see in this first diagram there is a fusion of male and female gamete which results in formation of zygote. Zygote further divides and produces the 8 to 16 cell stage which is called morula. Morula further gets differentiated and gets divided and gets converted into blastocyst, which has the trophoblast layer and the inner cell mass, and then this trophoblast layer helps in the implantation, that is attachment of the blastocyst to the endometrium layer of the uterus. That is called implantation. Okay, now moving to the next topic, that is pregnancy and embryonic development. Children, after implantation, that is after attachment of the blastocyst to the endometrium layer, finger-like projections appear on the trophoblast, which are called chorionic villi, which are surrounded by the uterine tissue and the maternal blood. The chorionic villi and the uterine tissue becomes interdigitated with each other, and they jointly form a structural and functional unit between fetus and the maternal body, which is called the placenta. The inner cell mass then gets differentiated into three layers, that is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, which in turn forms the different organs. Now placenta have different functions. Like the first function is it helps in nutrition of the embryo and transport nutrients like amino acids, sugars, vitamins from maternal blood to the fetal blood. Okay, it facilitates the supply of oxygen and nutrients to the embryo. It also facilitates the removal of carbon dioxide and water and waste materials which are produced by the fetus. Okay, then it helps in excretion. The nitrogenous waste like urea, which is produced by the fetus, will be will be released in the maternal blood, and through maternal blood it will be released out of the body. The placenta is connected to the embryo through the umbilical cord, which helps in the transport of substances to and from the embryo. Placenta also acts as an endocrine tissue and produces several hormones like HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, HPL, human placental lactogen. Okay, along with that estrogen, progesterone are also produced. Then the antibodies for diphtheria, smallpox, measles, etc., which are produced in the maternal blood, will be passed to the fetus through the placenta. It also stores glycogen till the liver formation takes place in the fetus, and it is the effective barrier for toxic chemicals and the germs. Okay, this is the diagram of the human fetus within the uterus. Okay, you can see uterus के अंदर क्या है, human fetus है. This is the fetus, right? And inside the uterus there is the development of the fetus. You can see the chorionic villi are developed. Okay, and through that the placenta will be developed. This placenta is also developed, and the connection between the chorionic villi and the fetus is called the umbilical cord. Okay, through the placenta is connected to the embryo through the umbilical cord, which helps in the transport of substances to and from the embryo. Clear? Then in the later phase of pregnancy, hormone called relaxin is also secreted by the ovary. It is important to note here that HCG, that is human chorionic gonadotropin, HPL, human placental lactogen, and relaxin, these three hormones are produced only during the pregnancy in the woman. In addition to this, the levels of other hormones like estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, prolactin, thyroxine increases at a very large amount They are increased several times in the maternal blood during the pregnancy, and the increased production of this hormones is necessary for the fetal growth, then metabolic changes in mother, and maintenance of pregnancy. Now, immediately after the implantation, the inner cell mass differentiates into an outer layer called the ectoderm and an inner layer called endoderm. Then a mesoderm is soon developed between the ectoderm and endoderm, thus transforming the blastocyst into three-layered structure, which is called gastrula. And this process is called gastrulation, that is formation of germ cells. These three layers gives rise to tissues and organs in an adult, which have in an adult. Now the inner cell mass contains certain cells which are called the stem cells, which have the capacity to give rise to all the tissues and organs. Clear? After this, we will be studying about the changes in the embryo. In humans, pregnancy lasts for 9 months, and after 1 month of pregnancy, fetus heart is formed. Okay, the 9 months are divided into 3 trimesters. The first trimester ends by the end of the 3rd month. Second trimester ends by the end of the 6th month, and the third trimester ends by the end of the 9th month. Okay, so after 1 month of pregnancy only the fetus heart is formed. The first sign of growing may be noticed by listening the heart sound carefully through the stethoscope. Then by the end of the 2nd month, the fetus develops limbs and digits. By the end of the 12 weeks, major organ systems and external genitalia are well developed. Okay, for 12 weeks means by the end of the first trimester, 3 महीने जब complete होते हैं तब major organ systems, limbs or external genital organs are also produced. The first movement of the fetus and appearance of the hair can be observed during the 5th month. And by the end of the 24 weeks, that is 2nd trimester, the body is covered by fine hair, eyelids gets separated, and eyelashes are formed. And by the end of the 9th month of pregnancy, the fetus becomes fully developed and is ready for delivery. In this diagram, you can see various stages. This is the first month wherein the heartbeats can be, heart is formed, and the first sign of growing fetus can be noticed by the listening of the heart sound with the help of stethoscope. Then by the end of the 2nd month, the fetus develops the limbs and the digits. You can see hands and legs are developed in this diagram. Okay. By the end of the 3rd month, that is 12 weeks or first trimester, major organ systems and external genitalia are also formed. Okay. Then the growth of the fetus takes place. The first movement, you can see here, first movement is observed during the 5th month. Okay, the fetus has moved, you can see in this diagram. Okay, in the 5th month, there will be appearance of the hair, and by the end of the 6th month, that is 2nd trimester, 24 weeks, The body is covered by the fine hair, the eyelids get separated, eyelashes are also formed. Okay, further development takes place in 7th and 8th month, and by the end of the 9th month, the fetus becomes fully developed and is ready for the delivery. You can see the fetus is inverted, head is towards the cervix so that the delivery of the baby can take place. Now, parturation, the time period during which the pregnancy remains in the uterus, that is after the last day of menstruation to the day of parturation, is called gestation. The period of pregnancy is called the gestation period. It is 9 months in the humans. Vigorous contraction of the uterus at the end of the pregnancy causes the expulsion or the delivery of the fetus, and this process is known as parturation. It occurs because of the vigorous contraction of the myometrium layer of the uterus. The signs of parturation originate from the fully developed fetus and the placenta, which induce the mild contraction of the uterus, which is called fetal ejection reflex. This triggers the release of oxytocin from the maternal pituitary. It promotes contraction of the uterine muscles, which in turn stimulate further secretion of the oxytocin. Okay, and the stimulatory reflex between the uterine contraction and oxytocin secretion continues, resulting in stronger contraction. This leads to the expulsion of the baby out of the uterus through the birth canal. And soon after the birth of the baby, placenta is also expelled out of uterus. Relaxin hormone relaxes the pelvic ligaments of the mother to prepare for the childbirth. Then lactation. The mammary glands in females undergo differentiation during the pregnancy. And the production and release of milk by the mammary gland of female after birth of young one is called the lactation. The first milk which comes out of the mother's mammary gland just after the childbirth is called colostrum, which is rich in proteins and energy along with the antibodies that provides passive immunity to the newborn. Passive immunity means the already formed immunity. Okay, immunity is formed because of the formation of antibodies, right? So the colostrum, which is the pale yellow color milk, that is the first milk that is secreted by during the initial stage after the delivery, okay, that contains the antibodies which are given to the newborn, so it is called the passive immunity. Okay, then the milk production is controlled by lactotrophic or prolactin hormone, which is secreted by the pituitary. Breastfeeding during the initial period of infant growth is highly recommended by the doctors for bringing up a healthy baby. So children, that is all for today, and with this we have completed the chapter. In our next chapter, next video we will be starting with the new chapter. Thank you.